I don't know how. Can you guys hear me? Because I can still hear them in a Zoom. So, and you don't have to, it doesn't usually run 2 Zooms at one time. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Hi, Jeanette. Can you hear me? Jeanette? Can you hear me? You can hear me. They're still in a Zoom. That's okay. We're having like freak technical glitches that are not supposed to happen. You are not supposed to be able to run 2 Zooms at one time. And my Zoom says over there, connecting. You see that? On top? And yet they're still yakking away in the old Zoom. I can hear them on my phone because my phone was connected to the old Zoom. Hello, 66. What is that? I don't have my glasses on. Ulster? You can hear me, you can see me. I did start a new Zoom. I most certainly did, but they're still in the old Zoom, yakking away. It's very strange. Thank you, Pamela Patrick. Yeah, I realize that, Kevin, but I'm not supposed to be able to start a new Zoom. You're so tired, Janae? Well, we're not going to be on long because we have to be up and bushy-tailed for a full day of trial, right? And this trial is really, it puts like a little bit of a crimp in things. Like for my doctor's appointment, it'll be on Thursday, which there's no trial on Thursday, so that's good. But I have to go out to Pennsylvania either this week or next week. And if I want to go Tuesday, then I've got to rely on Jimmy to do the switcheroony. So that's why at least they're keeping didn't they keep the WebEx on during lunch this time? That was good. If they keep that freaking WebEx on during the breaks, then it's great because I can set it and forget it. But if they don't, then Jimmy's got to be here to relog into the web thing. We'll see. We'll find it out. If I go, I'm probably going to go on Tuesday, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have more than one device, but no, it's on a paid account. And if I'm logged into my account, you cannot go live. You cannot have more than one Zoom running at a time. If you're talking about free Zoom and you have different accounts, but I have a paid account and you can only be live on one Zoom at a time. I can go join another Zoom. Okay, so like if I'm going to say a grief counseling and my counselor has a Zoom, I can keep myself logged into my Zoom and I can join another Zoom. But my account is not supposed to be able to start another Zoom. Catch me? Probably a Zoom glitch. Yeah, it's still saying connecting on the top. Isn't that weird? Isn't that special? You have a soccer game tomorrow night? Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't want to miss it, but is it okay if I watch the replay? And why are you rude? That's not rude, Jeanette. No, I don't interrupt the trial. I can't stand. Jeanette, I cannot stand if someone interrupts the trial when I'm watching it. I don't want someone yakking away when I'm trying to listen to a witness. The nighttime is for commentary. The nighttime we can watch it, a part of it, or whatever it is, again, and then we can stop it and say, did you hear this or did you hear that? But the first time that I'm watching that trial, especially if I'm watching it live, nobody better be interrupting. I can't take it. So, yeah, Jeanette, so we let it play through. What I do is we go on at 10:45 and it starts 15 minutes later. So for the first 15 minutes, sometimes I'll do a little recap or something. As soon as that trial goes on, that trial goes on. I mute, you listen to the trial, we talk in the chat. If we have something to say, you say it in the chat. Then when they break, we can talk during a break. As soon as it goes back on, same thing, Jeanette. Then the lunch hour, we talk about things. I can come on and talk about things. I can replay things. As soon as it goes back on after lunch, no talking, please. Yeah. I got you, Jeanette. I don't like anybody interrupting. I've seen people live stream a trial and just sit there and talk over the entire thing. It drives me out of my mind. It's like when you're like, shh, I'm trying to listen to this, shh. All right, so let's see. So tomorrow. What do you think you're going to have on there tomorrow as in terms of witnesses? Let's see. Who are we going to have? Hi, Texas Milpar. Everybody, I think, is really chomping at the bit for Harley to take the stand, right? Harley, Letitia's daughter. We have a lot of questions about that. The medical examiner is the first one, yes. That will be very informative. The medical examiner, based on how much she's able to tell, yes, but what I mean more is the way how the trial setting, you can't see much. I mean, not every witness. No, you see everything, Jeanette. They've got the cameras on. The way I set it up, you're going to see the courtroom. I minimized the judge very tiny because a lot of times he turns his camera off and we don't need to see the judge during when the witnesses are there. We want to have an eye on Letitia, so I keep that big screen of the gallery, and then I have off to the side next to it a fairly large view of the witness on the stand. So you're seeing both all the time. You're seeing straight on into the courtroom, the gallery, and Letitia, and you're seeing the witness, and you've got a tiny little judge off to the side. Now, when the judge comes on, if there's no witness, then I will maximize the judge along with the gallery. So I'll give you the best possible view. Yeah, you're going to see her. Well, you can see Landon. She's in the gallery. You'll see that's the view they give us, Jeanette. It doesn't give me the option to shoo the judge off completely. Even when he turns his camera off, his thing stays on because I can hide people that don't have a camera. But well, you've got to watch here, Jeanette. Where else are you going to freaking... We stream it every day, Jeanette. We have every single day of the trial so far, and we're going to be doing it tomorrow. They didn't have Gannon's father on the stand, okay? For him, they didn't have a camera set up. They didn't have it set up. For now, they have the witness camera set up. So we'll see it. I'm sure we'll see it with Landon and hopefully with Harley, unless they say don't show me. I don't know. Okay, so the medical examiner based, like, I don't know how badly, and it's horrible, decomposed Gannon was. He was in an area where it was hot and humid and wet. Now, they told us that the medical examiner got him in there, took off his clothes, and washed him up. I would love it if she could tell us about these alleged burns that he was supposed to have. If she could tell us anything, or she or he, I don't know if it's a she or he, could tell us about those. And we want to hear about the defensive wounds, right? He had defensive wounds. She stabbed him 18 times, and there were defensive wounds. We want to know, when did that gunshot occur, right? If she can tell us that. And when did the blunt force trauma, does she think, can she get that down to what she did first? We know she had to be stabbing him when he was fighting back via defensive wounds. So we have to figure out what she might be, listen to what that medical examiner tells us. And then after that, I don't know who's going to be on. I hear Sharon yakking it up over there. Friday in the Netherlands in hotel for 1 week. Oh, enjoy yourself, Jeanette. They have nice napkins in the Netherlands. Hi, snow remover. I don't know what you're talking about, special needs. I just told you mine says connecting. I don't have anybody, and I don't have a number. Look, I can't even invite anybody because my Zoom isn't connected. My Zoom's not connected. I'm probably going to have to start it all over again after this live. You're leaving Friday? What do you mean, where am I, Ann Rose? Kevin, can she see me? What does she mean? Ann Rose, I'm right here. Ann Rose. Refresh your screen. You can see me. Okay, Snow. Okay, I don't know. Anne, I think yeah, you might have to go out and click into the video again. Can we get a few more thumbs up on the video, please? I really appreciate that. Hi, Rich. Thank you. Hi, Sassy Darcy. Sassy, are you being funny asking where I am? Kevin, why is everybody asking where I am? Hi, Sunrisa. So yeah, let's look for that. But let's just see what there's quite a few things going on, and let me see. We're going to talk about some stuff that's going on. Okay, so they arrested the third suspect in those Florida. The U.S. Marshals and the Lake County Sheriff's Office have arrested the third suspect in the murders of 3 teenagers in a rural Florida community last week. The 16-year-old was arrested on outstanding warrants for carjacking with a firearm, aggravated assault, grand theft of a motor vehicle, fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement, and tampering with an electronic monitoring device, the Marion County Sheriff's Office said, and said that additional charges are forthcoming. The U.S. Marshals and the Florida Sheriff's Association announced a $5,000 reward for the suspect's arrest. Deputies have already arrested a 17-year-old boy and a 12-year-old boy and charged them with first-degree murder. It's unclear if any of the suspects have been charged as adults. The 17-year-old and the 12-year-old appeared in court on Saturday, and they were both denied bond. They are also charged with robbery and a firearm. 12 years old. 16-year-olds Layla Silvernail and Camille Quarles and a 17-year-old boy were found last week in 3 separate locations in Marion County. Silvernail was critically wounded and later died at the hospital. The boy was found dead about a half a mile away, and the next day, Camille was found shot to death in the trunk of Silvernail's car on April 1st, partially submerged in a pond about 9 miles away. According to the arrest affidavits for the 12-year-old and the 17-year-old, all 6, the 3 suspects and the 3 victims, were involved in criminal activity on March 30th prior to the shootings before the suspects turned on the victims for an unknown reason and killed them. The affidavit says the 16-year-old suspect first shot Silvernail and the 17-year-old boy while Silvernail was driving her car with the other in the back seat, except for Camille, who was in the trunk, smoking by her own choice. The 12-year-old and the 17-year-old both say they fired shots at the victims as well. The group dumped the wounded Silvernail at the site of the shootings and then drove the car a little further and dumped the teen boy's body in a ditch. They later dumped the car with Camille's body in the pond. Wonderful. Okay, so a woman, who was this that did this? 2 Florida healthcare workers have been arrested after they allegedly live streamed themselves abusing and mocking an elderly dementia patient in their care. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office said Jada Harris, 18, and Shatonia Jazimaisha Bishop, 20, were charged with video voyeurism abuse of an elderly person and interception disclosure of wire or oral communications for at least 4 videos sent out over Snapchat on April 3rd. The Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey said in a Facebook post that what those women did was vile. The local facility had no idea this was taking place. Abusing anyone is disgusting enough, but to make matters even worse, they live streamed the abuse. They actually put it up so that their friends could watch and laugh about it. The video showed graphic images of the 2 women trying to change the patient's soiled clothing. They are heard laughing, according to the court records, while the woman screams no repeatedly. Investigators say they received a tip about the videos recorded at the Market Street Memory Care Facility in Melbourne. In one of the videos, the patient calls out, "Help me," as Bishop says, "Ain't no help." In another, Harris yanks the sheet from the woman while telling her, "You're making me mad now, let's go." Investigators say the victim had been a patient of the facility since last August, and she has been diagnosed with dementia, but was said not to have any behavioral issues, according to the arrest warrants. Harris and Bishop were fired. The facility was unaware of the incidents when they took place, police said. That's absolutely disgusting. A 6-year-old Virginia girl is dead after a 700-pound ATV she was riding on flipped and landed on top of her. Virginia State Police said the Suzuki King Quad vehicle was driven by a 7-year-old boy. The crash took place just before 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday in the yard of the home. The girl was pronounced dead at the scene, and the boy had minor injuries. That's why I can't stand it. I'm sorry. Family members identified the little girl as Reagan Lax, calling her one of the sweetest girls anyone could know. Neither child was wearing a helmet. The Lunenburg County Commonwealth's attorney is investigating. And I don't know if the 7-year-old is her brother or who. It's just a horrible, horrible tragedy. Okay, back to Orlando. Orlando police officers responded to a domestic violence call on Sunday morning and shot and killed a suspect who came out of the house and shot at them. The police chief, Eric Smith, said that when an officer went inside, they found 3 victims, and one of those victims was a child. The officers heard gunshots from inside the house as they arrived on the scene. The suspect walked out of the house and walked towards the officers, shot at the officers. The officers returned fire and the suspect fell. The 2 adults inside were pronounced dead at the scene, and the child was taken to the hospital and died there. Investigators have not released their names while they contact the next of kin. Smith said the suspect has been identified as 28-year-old LaCorvis Daly. The 2 officers who shot the suspect have been placed on administrative leave pending the investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. They were unharmed. What a horrific, tragic situation. Sending support to the family members of the victims as well as the officers who were thankfully unharmed, said the Orlando mayor, Buddy Dyer, on Twitter. A neighbor said that one of the victims reached out to her for help. Okay, now we have this another horrific thing. Ten people, 3 of them children, were injured, and 1 person dead after a 13-year-old in a stolen car leads police on a chase. This reminds me when those 2 brothers were going out and didn't they both get killed? It's horrible. Fiery and fatal crash Saturday afternoon was caused by a California 13-year-old boy who was joyriding in a car that he stole from a family member, and he sped away from police who attempted a traffic stop. A woman was killed in the crash, caused when the teen lost control and hit other vehicles in Woodland. And 10 other people, 3 of them children, including the 13-year-old suspect, were transported to hospitals for treatment. The Woodland Police Department said California Highway Patrol is investigating the incident. Woodland police say officers spotted the suspect's vehicle driving erratically in a 25-mile-per-hour zone. The driver refused to stop when the officers tried to pull the vehicle over. Officers pursued until the driver lost control and crashed. 2 of the 3 vehicles involved caught fire. This reminds me of one that was in New Mexico or something. Remember, there was like a really horrific... The suspect was one of the minors injured and remains hospitalized. He was the only person in his vehicle. He was charged with vehicular manslaughter, with negligence, and evading an officer causing injury. You know what? I hear stories like this, and their whole life is gone. He's killed someone, changed the life of another family, all the people injured, all the craziness. You know, and it's just one bad decision, right? One bad decision. Now that Minnesota mom that's missing, they're stopping the search. Let me see. Minnesota authorities over the weekend ended a large-scale search for missing mother Madeline Kingsbury, but police say they would continue to investigate her disappearance. Around 2,600 people volunteered to search between Friday and Saturday. They're looking for the 26-year-old woman who was last seen on March 31st at a daycare facility along with her partner. Due to the incredible turnout, we were able to cover substantially more ground in a shorter time period than expected, said the Winona Police Chief Tom Williams. Williams added that although the massive search has ended, police are still looking for that mother of 2 and they remain on the case. The search for Maddie is not ending, and neither is the investigation into her disappearance. Kingsbury, on March 31st, failed to pick up her children from daycare, which her family said is extremely out of character for her, and she has not answered calls and messages. Police say that a van matching Kingsbury's vehicle, which is a 2014 dark blue Chrysler Town & Country, was seen traveling from Winona to the eastern part of Fillmore County on March 31st. Kingsbury is a clinical research coordinator at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, and she's described as 5'4", 145 pounds, with hazel eyes and brown hair. A $50,000 reward is being offered for information leading to her location. Anyone with information should contact the Fillmore County Sheriff's Office at 507-765-3874. She's found. Now, Lori Vallow's trial starts tomorrow as well. That is going to be audio only. And it's, it has to be given after, I believe, the trial. Let's see what else is going. But we're going to be watching Letitia Stalcom. Let me check on something here. Oh, shoot. Hold on a minute, guys. Mm-hmm. Okay. So East Idaho News is going to be paying for the trial, and I guess I don't know if they're going to do the transcripts as well, but I think they are. I'm not sure though. And I believe as well KSL TV will be doing the same. So that's where you can listen. It's a podcast. You're not going to see anything, and there will be drawings by a courtroom artist. We are going to be plugged in. We'll go over stuff like that later on. And, I'll listen later, but I'm going to be invested in the... Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay, now I want to talk about something, okay? I want to talk about something, but I have to get something. Hold on a minute. I think I have to try something here. Hold on a minute. I have to remember this. And I have to put my glasses on so I get this right. Hold on a minute. I've got to look. I have to log into something and I have to get it. Binky, if you're listening to me, I just texted you something that's not for you. It's nothing bad, but I don't think you know the password, okay? It wasn't meant for your chat. Just hang on, I'm looking for... I have to get a password here. Just 1 second. Oh, there it is. Okay, hang on. That is the right password that I put in there. So what is going on? Huh. Very, very weird. Let me try something else it might be. Try both of these. Oh, I got it. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, what are these women doing? What do they want? You know what they want? They want romance. And you know where they're going for it? Outside of the United States. And they say that relocating outside of the United States has really changed their dating lives. But there's a warning that if you find love outside of the United States, it's more than just changing your address. So those 4 people up there are in a cable network show called Freeform, and it features 4 American women who moved to Paris in search of love. Has anybody watched this? So one of the ladies, Casey Margot, she's been going on a lot of fun dates ever since she moved to Paris. And she moved to Paris before the pandemic. She moved to Paris October of 2019. After she studied abroad in Paris in 2016, she fell in love with the city and its men, and she got a teaching job there. She moved there after she graduated from Sarah Lawrence College, May of 2019, and now she's living a dream that many American women share who are seeking relationships abroad and find the dating scene in the United States to be toxic. There's something called Tinder Passport, and that's a subscription dating service that allows users to match with people in a destination of their choice. It's very popular. Members use it up to 9 times a month, according to the Senior Vice President of Global Marketing at Tinder. And during 2022 to 2023, there was a distinct increase in the number of female members who were shifting interest to unique locations. So this Freeform show, Love Trip Paris, features these 4 women. And they move to an apartment building in Paris that is filled with eligible French bachelors. And women, bachelors, bachelorettes. I don't know if it's just like actors and you call them actors instead of actors and actresses. I don't know if everybody's just a bachelor now. I don't know. Single men and women, let's say that. Then we're safe. They're all looking to find a French lover. Paris is for a lot of people the epitome of romance, said the executive producer of the show. Now, these 4 women felt like by going to a different country, the eligible single people are more serious, and there's more intention behind their actions. Many American women feel that their dating experiences in the United States have been disappointing, to say the least. They feel that moving to a different country could help them conquer their dreams, their dating dreams. One woman said that she noticed a lack of effort and intention from men in Atlanta, Georgia, where she attended Spelman College, saying the dating culture in the U.S. is that it's cool and normalized to be indifferent to someone and not really express how you genuinely feel. But when she traveled across Europe for vacation in October of 2022 to January 2023, the people she dated made it clear they wanted to spend time with her. So, what's the problem, right? Well, let's see. because a lot of people had some great experiences and found their love interests, even older people. A woman, Cindy Sheehan, said meeting people outside of her circles in Denver was momentous. She started traveling solo shortly after she ended her 30-year marriage in 2016. She found the men that she dated in Denver after her divorce to be unadventurous. And she said she went on 60 dates in 2017, and it was like a comedy show. At the end of 2017, she had it. She quit her job, and she traveled throughout Southeast Asia for leisure. And then that's when she started using that Tinder app. Because they were out there living their life, there was a lot more energy to the dates, said the 61-year-old. It wasn't just somebody meeting after their work at the bank or on their way home to let their dog in Denver. In 2018, she met her partner of 5 years, Jean-Marie Mas, a 61-year-old professional tandem paraglider from France in Nepal. Let's go on now to the problems. Because we know, you could find things, right? But they're recommending that anyone who is jaded about dating in the United States should definitely try dating abroad. But see, it's more than dating abroad. Then if you want to come back to the United States, you've got to go through the whole process, 90-day fiancé, all that stuff. So that's the problem, and they're glossing over that. But I guess they're just trying to promote these shows, and they're giving a one-way seems very biased account of this, if you ask me. But if anybody's watching that show, my daughter told me she's watching Love at First Sight. And I watched the first season of Love at First Sight. I don't know what season is on now, but she's like, oh, it's really, every time I call, she's watching Love at First Sight, Love at First Sight. So, I don't know if you've ever seen that show. That was really bizarre. They can't see each other. They can just talk, and they just talk to a bunch of people, and then they actually go and get married, or they have the opportunity to get married if they feel like it. I remember, I think the last one, the girl fell in the dress or something crazy happened. Let's see what else we can talk about here. I have to get back on my recipes. I definitely want to make that olive oil cake. I was going to do my Easter bread today, and then I couldn't do it. I'm just really just not there right now. It's hard because it's the third Easter in a row we couldn't celebrate it correctly, Okay. Let's see if there's something. Buttermilk layer cake. I have to make an ice cream cake. What can we talk about here? Peppercorn pasta with lemon and garlic. Kind of sounds a little bit good. Shrimp scampi with orzo sounds like amazing. It looks good too. Creamy Meyer lemon pasta. Pasta with fried lemons and chili flakes. Lemon cheesecake tart. Cauliflower. Shawarma with spicy tahini. Okay, I can't look at this because I'm feeling hungry and I just can't. Can't look at that. Oh, classic shrimp scampi. That looks good too. I feel like shrimp scampi is so bad now. Butter mochi. I just don't like mochi cakes. Ugh, caca. I have one in there that my daughter and I tried. We made a video on it from Trader Joe's, and then she bought a chocolate one and never even tried it because it's like, why? It's caca. Okay. So let's do something to wind down a little bit before we call it a night. Because we are going to be calling it a night soon because we have a busy day tomorrow. And we had a busy day today. Hey there, 66. I love this community. Oh, thank you, 66. Lester, how did you find us? How did you find us? Hi, Shayna. How are you? The Trader Joe's dill chips? Hi, more facilitation. You German men, I do love Boris Becker. When he was a younger, he was yummy, Jeanette? No, caca is eggs. Caca is anything gross. Caca is anything gross. But not really German men. I know, Kevin. Kevin says it's long. Those days in the courtroom are long. They're breaking him. You speak of lovers. Oh, look. Rich is trying to be romantic. Hello again, more facilitation. I have been watching for a couple of years, but I rarely chat. Yeah. What's been keeping you out of here? Where have you been? What are you doing? Carolyn, look at my email. I'm not going yet, Rich. Don't worry. I'm going to look at it. Let me see. I'll look at your email. I'm not going anywhere yet. Don't be silly. Let me go see your email, Rich. Teacher in Port Orange was found in a canal. It was 2 years missing. In Florida? Let me see. Okay, let's see. Oh boy. That looks nasty, huh? Look at that. Did she just drive off the road, you think? Let me see. I'm already speculating before I even go and take a look at the facts, right? Volusia County, Florida. Authorities located a car Saturday in Volusia County, Florida that belonged to a teacher who went missing a few years ago. Okay, so it says, and I'm reading from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office. Let's make this a little bit larger for my little eyes. The vehicle belonging to missing Port Orange teacher Robert, I think it's Haika, has been found in a body of water in the area of 4290 Pioneer Trail between State Route 44 and 415. The VSO dive team is in the process of recovering the vehicle. Update 1. The car is in a canal along Pioneer Trail where the water level has recently dropped significantly. It hasn't been determined if it's occupied, thanks to Sunshine State Sonar Search Team and the Recon Dive Recovery for spotting the vehicle and confirming the tag. Update 2. The car has been removed from the water with one deceased occupant discovered inside. While positive ID has not officially been made, the Port Orange Police Department has been in contact with Mr. Haika's family. Our thoughts go out to the Haika family and friends this evening. Okay, so I wonder what they think that he just, I don't know when he went in there, but look at this. Did you see this? Look at this. Amazing. Look at this. A woman was pulled to safety on Friday from a Jeep that had plunged into a Texas lake. According to a news release from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, an emergency dispatcher received a call from a fisherman who reported seeing a black Jeep submerged in Lake O' the Pines, about 40 feet from Woody's Camp boat ramp. This is crazy. Hold on a minute. Here's the post from the sheriff's office. It says, on Friday morning, April 7th, the Marion County Sheriff's Office dispatcher received a call from a fisherman. The fisherman stated that he was on the south side of Lake of the Pines in southwest Marion County, Texas. He reported observing a black Jeep submerged about 40 feet. Yikes. From where? Hold on a minute. It's opening up. I had to read more. About 40 feet from the Woody Camp boat ramp. Deputies arrived at the scene as well as a local wrecker service. As the Jeep was being prepared for removal from the water, it was discovered a person was still in the vehicle and moving. With the assistance of the wrecker service, fishermen, and Marion County deputies, a female was safely rescued from the submerged Jeep. EMS responded to the location and transported the female to a local hospital. During the incident, it was determined that the woman was listed as a missing person from the Longview, Texas Police Department. That's unbelievable. How long was she there? Crazy. That's an Easter miracle, isn't it? That's crazy. Wonderful news for change, right? Good news for change. Uh-oh. Oh, Oscar nominee Michael Lerner. Barton Fink, the elf actor, dead at 81. Now, who did he play in Elf? I can see him. Was he somebody in the department store? Who did he play in Elf? I guess we'll find out. Michael Lerner, who is nominated for an Academy Award for his role in Barton Fink and played diverse character roles in film and on television, died Saturday. He was 81. Lerner's death was announced in an Instagram post by his nephew, Sam Lerner. No cause of death was given. We lost a legend last night. It's hard to put into words how brilliant my Uncle Michael was and how influential influential he was to me. His stories always inspired me and made me fall in love with acting. He was the coolest, most confident, talented guy, and the fact that he was my blood will always make me feel special. In addition to 1991's Barton Fink, which earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Men Supporting Actor, Michael Lerner had memorable roles in Harlem Nights, Elf, Eight Men Out, National Lampoon's Class Reunion, Blank Check, The Beautician and the Beast, The Mod Squad, Godzilla, Poster Boy, and X-Men, Days of the Future. His last feature credit came in 2015 with Ashby. Now I can see him, and I can see him talking in Elf, but I can't place him. Was he one of the business? Was he the guy that was coming for the books? I think so, right? Maybe. I think he was the one that was ordering the books or something. I can see him talking. I can just see him. Let me go back to the chat. He was the store boss? That's what I was thinking at first. Everyone I watched on TV. See, yes, that's sad, Rich, and that's what happens, and that's why I don't like to watch award shows. I don't. Because the people that you watched, the people that, they're either, if they're getting an award, they've aged so much, and it's just like a reminder. It's a reminder of things we don't want to be reminded of, right? Mommy Ramblings, do you think Scott Peterson will exhaust his final appeal this week? It's due by Friday. Oh, boy. Shayna, I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you thinking about that? Who was dead already in 2022? What are you talking about? It says, no, this says April 9th or 8th, Saturday. What are you talking about, Jeanette? What you talking about, Willis? I don't know what you're talking about, Jeanette. What's Jeanette talking about? Who was already dead in 2022? I think Jeanette's not talking to me. I think Jeanette is talking to something else. Yeah. I think I put all of the trial thumbnails and the lives are out there for today, for tomorrow, the next day. Let's see what else. Let's just see if we can do just one more wind down thing, okay? Okay, let's see this. No, I don't want to do that. Not when you give me this elaboration thing. I don't like elaboration. Okay, so here we go. I'm a 31-year-old female. I had to cancel my Easter festivities with my side of the family because I let my kids go away with my significant others, who's 34 and a male, his parents for the weekend, not remembering that today was Easter, and they wouldn't have been home in time to make it over there. So anyway, yesterday, my significant other and I were running some errands, and I told him that since we weren't doing Easter with my family, and since his parents didn't have plans because they went away for the weekend, then I just wanted to chill out at our house and have a quiet dinner and an Easter egg hunt with just us and our 2 kids when they returned home. He said that sounded great with him. Fast forward to today. I wake up, put a roast in the slow cooker, and hid the Easter eggs so everything would be ready. By the time I was done, my significant other called and said that his mom decided last minute to make lasagna and cake and wants everyone to come over because it's also his brother's birthday. Needless to say, we got into a huge argument when I told him I wasn't going because I already have our dinner cooking, and reminded him of the plans we made that he agreed to yesterday. Long story short, he called me an a-hole and a stuck-up biatch, all because I refused to drop everything and go over there to spend time with his family. I told him that it's not my fault that they decided to wait until the last minute, and I shouldn't be treated like crap for wanting to keep my plans as is. So, next, I guess I'm spending Easter alone and eating the dinner that I cooked by myself. Am I the a-hole? At first, I'm trying to understand this lady. She said she canceled Easter festivities with her side of the family because she let her kids go with her significant other's parents for the weekend, not remembering that it was Easter. Well, I don't know when you realized that, lady, but what I think, like, when you realize that you let them go, why wouldn't you just say, oh, oopsie, I didn't realize it's Easter and my family is having an Easter celebration, so the kids are going to have to come home on whatever, Saturday night. Is that so hard? Your troubles would have been over, lady. But since you didn't do that, and then said you just wanted to have a little Easter, but then your in-laws call you and they did this, what are you going to do? You've missed your Easter with your family. Now they have an Easter. Your kids are there. So save the roast for tomorrow. Go over there and eat what'd she make, lasagna? Did she make a lasagna? I think she made a lasagna, right, in a cake. Your family's not going to be around forever. Go over there. Stop being such a biatch. You are the a-hole. Okay. And then maybe swing by your parents. I don't know how far everybody lives. I would even swing by your parents for dessert. Stop making yourself such a... You sound like you're just looking for problems. Margot says she's not the a-hole. Nicole says she's not the a-hole. Wow. She's the a-hole to me. Ah, she's the a-hole to me. Okay. As many families do, we received a ridiculous amount of chocolate eggs for our kids this year. And we have a plethora of smallish eggs. My girlfriend said she was hungry, and I said, why don't you have one of the kids' Easter eggs? I came back downstairs and she'd eaten the largest one, and one with the kid's name actually written on it. Oh my gosh. And I said to her, that was a bit harsh, as they'd likely noticed the ones missing, and now she's taken it as I'm being rude to her. She struggles with her weight, and I'm pretty sure has an eating disorder. Eats at least one 100-gram dairy milk bar most nights. So maybe I'm being insensitive in my delivery, but I can't help just feel that of all the other eggs she could have eaten, she let her selfish side pick the biggest one. Am I the a-hole? I don't know, first off, if your girlfriend's the mother of your children. If your girlfriend is the mother of your children, then apart from her trying to piss one of them off, she is the a-hole for eating the one with the name. Okay, because if everybody else has one and she ate theirs and it was a special one, she shouldn't have done that. Because I used to not even eat my bunnies and stuff and just put them away because I just couldn't hurt them. But and my brother would eat them over the summer. Let's see what's going on here. I would say she is. You're not, buddy. She shouldn't have done that. And if they were her children, then you might want to check out the relationship with the child's whose egg she ate. That's pretty crappy. That's like when in Curb Your Enthusiasm when Larry ate the baby Jesus and they were working on the nativity scene of sugar cookies. Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, buddy. On her part, not yours. You're free. It's pretty bad. No, I didn't show eggs. You have to think of it up here in your head. There are no pictures. We have to think of it upstairs. It's using our creative mind. It's mean. Yeah, it's wrong. She could have had one of there's probably a bunch of Hershey eggs or stuff like that. She could have eaten that. You don't eat the kid's egg with their name on it. That was probably specially ordered at some bakery. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. That is pretty crappy. Okay, let's see this. I'm a 27-year-old male. My wife is a 27-year-old female, and she's very into feminism, and I often joke about it, and she does not seem to mind. I believe in equality and all, and don't criticize her view or anything. My wife was having car troubles with the engine of her old car, and her mechanic convinced her they were going to get worse and advised her to get another car. I thought it could do more years, but she still decided to sell it without getting a second opinion. Her mechanic is actually a woman, and she trusts her for that reason, and she thinks she is a great mechanic. My wife sold her old car, and bought a used one that was much newer from a lady. She bought it because she fell in love with the color. And I thought it looked cute. Oh, and she thought it looked cute. It's a fine car, and I have no issues with it. But it just seemed like an odd reason to get a car to me. The car has an AWD badge on it. And as we were driving back after she bought it, she asked me why it says AWD. And I joked and said it was something that they put on it, and it is a club called Association of Women Drivers. And they were women who all get together and talk about their cars and their car troubles, and they help each other. I thought she would realize it was a joke, but she took me seriously. So I didn't say anything, and I tried not to laugh. She said she would consider joining it. When we got home, she Googled it and realized I was joking, but she got really upset, called me an a-hole. I don't get why she's so offended by just such a small joke, as I would have told her eventually what it means. Am I the a-hole? No, you're not the a-hole. You need a sense of humor in life. If she didn't know what AWD meant, then that's on her, okay? Because I think she should know what that means. But if she didn't and you played that little joke on her, harmless, you're not the a-hole. You have a sense of humor. That's all. You're not the a-hole. Don't you worry about it. Let's see what the chat says. Laugh a little, Elle says. It's on her that she doesn't know what AWD means, okay? She bought a car not knowing what AWD means. Then that's on you, lady. You didn't really research the car too much. And that's I can't imagine somebody not knowing what AWD means. Okay. Sorry. Okay. My girlfriend has a vegetarian diet. For as long as I've known her, she's a strict vegetarian. No meat at all. If we go to a restaurant and there's complimentary soup, she doesn't hesitate to flat out ask if there are meat products in the broth. Back in December, she met someone new where she works, a younger girl by the name of Sheila. Sheila is a vegan and doesn't even want to be around a place where cheese might exist. She's been chatting with my girlfriend, Michaela, frequently, and Michaela's apparently been telling Sheila and their other workmates that Michaela is a vegan. She's gone so far as to put it on Facebook, ridiculous posts such as, "Loving my vegan lifestyle," "Salads for lunch," "Being a vegan is great." The whole time she's making these comments, I'll see her eating cheese, drinking milk. She's still keeping her vegetarian diet, but it's definitely not a vegan diet by any stretch of the term. I pretty much tried to ignore it, even though it's been a little annoying hearing her talk about it. But I snapped yesterday at our Easter dinner when Michaela insisted to be held in our home. Michaela invited Sheila, who I honestly don't like. Because she was looking at the dinner spread, she made comments about Michaela putting up with so many animal products, and I'd had enough. So when Michaela and Sheila struck up a conversation in which Sheila proceeded to insult our food once again, I interrupted saying that it really isn't a problem for Michaela, given that she's not a vegan. In fact, I watched her eat an omelet just this morning. Michaela began to deny it, and claimed that I was lying. But Sheila looked a little upset that Michaela had been BSing her. It's genuinely lost on me how a person can get upset over their friend eating an egg. But then again, I am not on a diet. Long story short, Sheila is mad at Michaela for faking veganism for months, and now Michaela is upset with me because I should have kept my mouth shut. Am I the a-hole for calling out my girlfriend on not being a vegan? No, your girlfriend is a liar. The truth always comes to light. Lesson learned. I'm glad you concur, Elle. Thank you. I'm a 27-year-old female. I'm getting married in a few months to my fiance, who's 28 and a male. We've been planning our dream wedding for over a year, and everything is finally falling into place. However, there's one issue that's been causing a bit of controversy in our family. My nephew, who's 18, James, has a service dog, Max, for his anxiety and panic attacks. Max is a well-trained and well-behaved dog, and he has been a great help to James over the years. However, I am severely allergic to dogs, to the point where I could have a severe reaction if I'm around them for an extended period of time. This is something my family is well aware of. When we sent out the invitations for our wedding, we made it clear there would be a strict no pets policy. Absolutely no pets. Due to my allergies, James and his parents approached us and asked if Max could be an exception, as he's a service dog and not just a pet. They assured us that Max would be on his best behavior and that he would not cause any problems. As much as I understand the importance of Max to James, I had to say no. My wedding day is supposed to be one of the happiest days of my life, and I do not want to risk having a severe allergic reaction during the ceremony or the reception. I explained this to James and his parents, and I offered to help them find alternative accommodations for Max during the wedding. However, my decision has caused a lot of controversy in the family. Some of my relatives believe that I am being selfish and inconsiderate. Oh my gosh. While others understand my point of view and support my decision, James is understandably upset, and I feel terrible about the situation. So am I the a-hole for not allowing my nephew to bring his service dog to our wedding? Well, are you really allergic? Or are you just saying you're allergic? And what about James? Does he go into a full-on panic attack if he's without the dog? Can he keep the dog somewhere else and go and see the dog periodically through the ceremony? Would that be okay? Through the reception? I don't know. Kevin says, yes. Yes? She's being the a-hole, not allowing the dog, right? You say? Probably so. If she's not going into anaphylactic shock, you know, sit the dog on the opposite side of the room. It's a service dog, not a pet. Exactly. Okay. Okay, let's try this one now. I'm a 34-year-old guy. I travel a lot for work, often 2 or 3 weeks at a time, and my children are of school age, so my wife, who's 35, has recently gotten a Cocker Spaniel dog to keep her company while everyone is away during the day. I'm pretty indifferent about dogs. I don't love them, I don't hate them, but my One rule is that I don't want them in our bed. I came home early from a trip a few nights ago to surprise my wife, and I found her and the dog laid out across the bed sleeping. Instead of waking her up, I just slept in the guest room that night. Next morning, I surprised her and the kids with breakfast, and I let my wife know that I intended to surprise her the night before, but saw that she was in the bed with that dog. She admitted she always lets the dog sleep with her while I'm away, and she just watches the sheets and comforter the night before I'm supposed to come home. So I will never know, except now I do know, and I don't want to sleep in that bed until she promises she won't have that dog in that bed anymore while I'm away. Even while I'm away. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, she's going to lie to you, okay? I can tell you right now. She's going to put the dog back in the bed. So, I don't know. Get used to it, I guess. I don't think the dog has to sleep in the bed when you're home, but you really can't control what she does when you're not home and gone for 2 to 3 weeks, buddy. Okay, I'm a 26-year-old guy, and I have a sister who's 27. I haven't seen her in 4 years, and here's why. In college, I met the girl of my dreams. She was everything I'd ever wanted. Beautiful, smart, funny, and we have so much in common. We clicked immediately. Started dating freshman year. Everything was perfect. I introduced her to my family, and my parents loved her. She also became close friends with my sister. They would hang out often. And her getting along with my family was important to me. Final cherry on the top that made me really think I found the one. I was planning on proposing after graduation. That was until one day my friend sent me a picture of her kissing my sister. Apparently, someone had taken the picture at a party. I confronted her, and she tried everything, saying that she was drunk, it didn't mean anything, because that's just what girls do. I was young and in love, so I accepted it. We stayed together. About a month later, her roommate texts me that she walked in on my ex and my sister in a compromising position. We had a big blow-up fight that night where she admitted to me that she was a lesbian and in love with my sister. She begged me not to tell anyone, saying that her family would disown her and she wouldn't be able to pay for the last semester of college without their help. I cut her and my sister out of my life, but I didn't out her. When my parents asked what happened to the girl that I liked so much, I told them that she had cheated on me, but I never said it was with my sister. This has caused strain on my relationship with my parents, since they don't understand why I no longer have a relationship with my sister. Being told that what I thought was the love of my life was all a lie threw me into a deep depression. I had to go through years of therapy to get back to where I am today. I'm proud of where I am today, and I've been seeing someone new for about a year, and I've moved on. My sister and my ex are still together. For all my parents know, they had started dating after my ex graduated, and we had been broken up for months. A few days ago, my mom called me to let me know that my sister and my ex are getting married. She begged me to come to the wedding, saying that we could finally reconcile and she would get to see her side, her family, happy together again. For some reason, I just couldn't take it anymore. I finally told her everything. Yesterday, I got another call from my mom, who let me know that she and my dad had disowned my sister and would not be attending her wedding. For a second, I felt vindicated. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm dredging up the past. I've ruined my sister's new marriage before it even began. And even though I hated them both for a long time, I can truly say that I don't anymore. Am I the a-hole for ruining my sister's wedding? Well, he moved on. He's got a new girl. Sisters move on. Why does he have to ruin the wedding? I don't know. But then there's this big awkward thing, and you haven't told your parents the truth, and the truth is going to come out sooner or later. But then, did you know your parents were going to have such a huge reaction? Disown your sister. I don't know, buddy. What do you guys think? Hi, Search and Destroy. What do you think? People of the chat, this is our last one of the evening because this girl's going to bed. You don't know? You were annoying, Mom, but my baby cat was very sweet to me. I miss her. Jerry Springer stuff. Well, what would you say? What you don't have any advice for this guy? It was pretty crappy what they both did to him, right? He covered for them. Well, I'm in top chat. No wonder I'm not seeing all this stuff. I'm in top chat. Help me. Little Jerry. Remember Little Jerry? Little Jerry. Wasn't he a chicken or something? A rooster? What do you mean, Al? Be right back. Sorry. You're just going to bow out on this question? Hi, Linda Uribe. It's a tough one. Not sure. If he really loves his sister, then be okay with it. The advice is just that he should have let his parents know. The advice is just that he should have let his parents know how much he doesn't care. Yeah. All right. Anyway, we're going to call it a night. Thank you for coming. Please be with us tomorrow for the Letitia Stouth trial. And I'll see you guys. Thank you. I hope everybody who celebrated Easter had a nice Easter. The Easter Bunny came to your house. I hope he brought you eggs with your names on them. But don't eat somebody else's egg. Chocolate egg that has their name on it, then you are the a-hole. All right, everybody. God bless. Prayers. Love you guys. Take care. See you tomorrow. Join us for court in the morning.